Good afternoon, Eric. What's going on, buddy? You seem to be the always the first one that hops in. Jay, what's going on, buddy? Mopar fam, what's up? Always angry and catching the chat. You know it, buddy. Edward, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Hey, I get it. Always angry, man. Stuff, life happens, man. That's just the way it is. Guitar man, what's going on? All right, Mopar fan. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. We'll give. Well, it's right at 9 o'clock. You know, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna do what we do every week. I give you a little update on where we're at with Shake and Bake, what's going on, what's happening, and then you guys in the chat gotta keep me going. Gotta keep me going. Oh, excuse me. I got a couple things off the top of my head to hopefully keep the chat going, but we'll see. We'll see how the chat goes as usual. But you guys are usually pretty good at keeping me going. Hey, Flying Ryan Performance, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. All right, so nothing, really nothing new with Shake and Bake. The plans are the plans. I've put them out a couple times. This is usually where you get some information before everybody else, because I usually open my mouth. Probably shouldn't half the time, but I usually open my mouth and give y'all what's going on, what's coming up in the future. But past several weeks, obviously it's winter time, so not a lot of things going on right now. But the plan is still the same plan. We're gonna run max cam. So first thing we need to do is get everything lined up. So right now, alignment's pretty bad. A lot of you have seen some of the last couple race videos were like, you need an alignment, buddy. Yeah, I know. So we got some shims for the AAD suspension arms, and I got the adjustable toe arms for the rears. So hopefully we get all of that in, and we're gonna pulley down and see what that does. And then the plan is to hit the track probably March, probably most of April, depending on how the income flows and YouTube goes. The eventual turn is going away from the Pro Charger and going twin turbos. So y'all heard it here again. Spoiler alert. We're eventually going to go twin turbos. It's just a matter of time and how the funds fall out. Like anything, everything always seems to always come back to the almighty dollar, right? So that's still the plan. Plans haven't changed. But I've had the car out a few times. Obviously, it snowed the past couple days. Didn't have it out. But in fact, I had her out today. Drove up to Fort Meade, had some business to do. Car's running great, man. She's ready to she's ready to rip, man. She's wanting to get to the track. March 6th can't come fast enough. And that's the first test and tune at Maryland International Raceway. So that's where we'll be come March 6th. So some of y'all Some of y'all noticed the change here. We did some change to the chat layout. I tried to get some of my artistic vision into the chat. We do concentrate on Mopars and Dodge, but we do talk about other cars too, here and there. When someone actually brings up questions about other cars, we talk about other cars as well. So we're not, I say 95% focus Mopar, 5% on anything else that anyone happens to bring into the chat. But y'all know the deal. 95% of this is all Mopar chat. But so if you can't really tell, there's a slight green glow around me. I got a green screen behind me now, and so that's hopefully making things look a little bit makes me look a little better. Hopefully, I don't know if that's possible, making me look any better, because I look terrible. But it's just a green screen hanging behind me now. I just now what I need to get is lighting to light up that green screen, so everything you can see right over here, the little line between the background and me, that's like the edge of the green screen. So I'm trying to make things a little better, trying to make things a little prettier. Y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's see, let's get over here. We do something real quick. There we go. Better. All right, let's see. Let's get back up into the chat. Complex Vision, what's going on, buddy? Flying Ryan, I think I said hi already. Always angry in the house. Jersey Hood. Oh, I gotta go back up. How am I missing some stuff here? Jersey Hood. I got a 09 Dodge Challenger RT. Can I do a demon swap? Money, time, and patience. You can do anything you can do anything you want. You can get you the Elephant, put a Elephant in there, and get you a solid transmission as well. You can do whatever you want. Time, money, and patience. That's all it takes. Angry Mr. Content Man, can't wait till spring. Might not go to Wham this year. We'll see if I can. I want to try Shake and Bake, even though. All right, buddy. Yeah, we got to get together one of these days. That's for sure. No doubt about it. And I do plan on getting out a little bit more, doing a little bit more competitive type racing stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll get out a little bit more. All right, back down to where we were. Tune. Flying Ryan, burning the midnight oil. I hear you, buddy. There's always work at the shop, especially Starks Performance Maintenance. Plug in for them guys. Mike and Matt. They're up in Essex, Maryland. So if you're in the DMV area, you need something done to your any car, right? They're mechanics, but they do specialize in Dodge. So yeah, if you need anything done to your car and you're in the DMV area, hit up Starks Performance and Maintenance. Yeah, Ryan, I see you guys got the old frostbite running pretty good, man. I gotta up my game. You guys are catching up to me. I gotta up my game. Tar man, sweet. Yeah, Jay, I know that's the first time we had FRP in the chat. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Mike, what's going on, buddy? Doing race car things. That's what we do. That's what we do on this channel. Edward got a 2020 Chrysler 300S. I'm looking to get some power out of it. What's your goals? What's your budget? Because you know what I mean? Time, money, patience, you can do anything you want. You can go as fast as you want. You just got to have those three things. You could do, I mean, if you want to, if it's your daily driver, you can do one of two things. You can stay naturally aspirated, do full bolt-ons, go with the cam, maybe long tube headers, and a nice cat back exhaust. That'll get you in high 300s, low 400s horsepower wise. Or you can forego all of that, go straight to, again, if it's a daily, I would probably go with a Whipple or a Magnuson, and now you're in high 400s, low 400 horsepower. Really, full bolt-ons, cat back, long tube headers, cam job, you're roughly in the same ballpark as doing a Whipple or a Magnuson. You'll pay a little bit more for the blower, but there you go. There's your couple choices right there. Depending, you want high 300s, low 400s, NA, full bolt-ons, and a cam, long tube headers, cat back exhaust. If you want closer to 500, then you're gonna have to go ahead and you're gonna have to go with a blower. Let's see, Eric, FRP, seeing a lot of people running your cams kits. Really got me looking into it. Hey, Eric, he does a lot of good work, man. He does a lot of good work. Mike's going back to Jay. Typos happen, Eric, all the time, man. I fat figure stuff all the time. Don't worry about it. Mike, how about the Prius? Gotcha. Mopar fan, what are your thoughts modifying a 6.1? Any of these Hemis are great platforms, man. 5.7, 6.1, 6.2, 6.4. They're all great platforms. They really are, and they can all make great power. Again, the three key ingredients: time, money, and patience. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there modifying 6.1s and making big power and going fast. So yeah, I'd absolutely, if I had a 6.1, I'd absolutely go ahead and modify that bad boy. Ryan, it's okay. I speak the jive. I got you, Ryan. Yes, like I said, 6.1's a great motor. So here's the deal. Usually by the time I get to the chat and you put a question in the chat, it's usually answered by some of the folks in the chat already, but I'm just slow getting to it. So Guitar Man, so how is Norma driving around town with your car? Really, the only real difference is the high stall torque converter, right? Because depending on where you're at and where you're in, you know, at in the shift pattern or uphill, downhill, kind of things like that, it feels like the car is slipping, but the transmission is slipping, but it's not. It's just because of the high stall torque converter. But you know, if you get back down in, because I got a 4,000 stall torque converter, that's a pretty big torque converter, or pretty high stall torque converter. If you get back down into, you know, the 3,400, you wouldn't even notice a difference. More than likely, you wouldn't notice a difference. But yeah, just with the Pro Charger and the way the Pro Charger works, I can cruise around town just like, you know, anybody else. I don't want to say it feels like stock because obviously it's got more power than stock, but yeah, it's a great daily too. I have a lot of fun with it. Now, don't get me wrong. All of the suspension stuff that I have done has stiffened up the suspension considerably, along with the engine mounts. So you feel a lot more of the engine. You feel a lot more of the road when you're driving around. But I don't have a problem with it. You know, it's really boils down to, you know, your personal preference. Do you want, you know, the kind of stockish, smooth kind of feel, or do you want to feel the road? But there's my thoughts on driving around town with Shake and Bake. Jay's talking about the 6-1, going back to Mopar fam. Team Bronze. All right, what's up, buddy? See those leaked 20? Yeah, I saw them. It'll be interesting to see. Seeing the pictures. I'm not a huge fan, but sometimes pictures don't do cars justice when you're looking at them in pictures. So I may wait, see one face to face, kind of really get a real live look at one, and then maybe formalize my opinion. Let's say that. Ant, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Eric 6-1's his favorite. Always angry. T-Tech heads and sending heads for porting and rebuild. Nice. Ooh, those things are expensive, boy. But they are great heads, no doubt about it. All the big boys use them. But yeah, those heads don't come cheap. That's for sure. Jersey Hood, what kind of cam I should get for the Demon swap? To tell you the truth, the Demon engine is pretty well sorted out. I mean, it was designed to be a race car. Even the 2018 Demon, right? And I kind of said this in the video when I talked about the Demon 170, but both those Demons are really track focused car. How many more changes you want to make to a Demon? Just my opinion. I have no facts backing this stuff up because I don't have a Demon, and I haven't seen anyone swap cams or anything in a Demon. But yeah, I would stay with the stock cam. J plus non VVT. Yeah, the 6-1's non VVT engine too. Nacho Supreme. Would a LSD swap be better than the stock 262 open diff, or would it be better to leave it be? So lots of questions to that one too. So are you tracking the car? Are you wanting to get rid of the one wheel peel? I mean, if you're tracking the car and you're launching from a dig, absolutely a 309 LSD would be much better than the 262 open diff. It's going to get you off the line better, 100%. I guarantee it. You may see a small drop in your gas mileage, just a small drop, not a big one. Between the two, but you'll notice the difference for sure. I would 100%, if you're going to the track and you're wanting to launch hard, you're gonna have to get an LSD. But if you're just daily driving it and you're not racing it, I'd leave it alone. I'd leave it be. So it all depends what you're doing with the car. They also have potential to use solid roller cams. That's not a bad idea too. That's good point, Jay. Good point. Flying Ryan, we're making some changes. I hope to get that 9 next time out. I know you guys are close, Ryan. You guys are close. I gotta step up my game. You guys are right behind me. Yeah, Dylan and I talk every now and again. Frostbite's coming for everyone. Yeah, he is. Heads for max effort T-Tex. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. You can't get better than the T-Tech heads, that's for sure. But they do cost a bit of coin though. I talk more people out of heads than into them. It's a lot of money for not a ton of improvement. Yeah, absolutely. We talked about porting heads and all that as well. If I'm with you, if you're not going for every last single onesie twosie horsepower that you're trying to get out of every inch of every mod, yeah, heads aren't going to get you much. I think when I did mine NA and they were ported, they were HHP BES heads, CNC ported. I picked up 9, 10 wheel horsepower, something like that. So yeah, and they were $1,700 for the pair. So $1,700 for 10 horsepower. in the normal scheme of things, it's not worth it. I'm with you, Ryan. It's not worth it. Jay, you guys better hurry up because Twin Turbo is about to make some. I hear you. I hear you, Jay. Yeah, Mike. Flying Ryan's got some nice cams out there. That's for sure. Absolutely. CT life hacks. Does it make sense to get a red eye or just get a Hellcat and mod it? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Because we've talked about this 100 times. Hellcat, you know, upper lower pulley, some injectors, maybe some fuel pump upgrades and E85, and you're well past red eye. You're well past a red eye. I mean, the red eye does have some niceties that the Hellcat doesn't. If it were me, if I had the money for the red eye, I would go for the red eye. Just because it's got some of the demon stuff in there that the Hellcat doesn't have. So there you go. If I had the money, I'd go for the red eye, and then you can always modify the red eye, right? But if you don't have the money, get the Hellcat, modify the Hellcat. Flying Ryan reference demon swap cam. We have this new Hellcat grind called the Titan 2. Sounds nasty and works with OEM converter. Nice. Picks up 80 to 90 wheel horsepower on a Hellcat cam only. That's significant. 80, 90 out of just the cam. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. That's a good deal. You Hellcat guys, there you go. Flying Ryan, Titan 2 for the Hellcat. Check them out. Hauser CT, build a scatter RT, save insurance, and build for more horsepower for less. True, Mike. You got a you got a point. You got a point. But keep in mind, if you go for the specifically the RT, it's gonna cost you. And keep in mind, things are gonna break. As you get up more and more in horsepower, things tend to break. So be prepared for that. So if it's your daily, I'd be careful. That's all I'm saying. ProCharge 392, thanks for chiming in, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, Mopar fam. ProCharge going to Jay. Yeah, Jay, but you do. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm kind of on the fence, but if I had the money, I'd get the red eye. Flying Ryan, those gains will increase with higher boost and supporting modifications. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Angry, if you're going to afford it, CT Life, get the fastest trim and mod it. If you want to save buck modding, modern Mopar ain't it? That's yeah. You felt the wallet shrinkage too. Always, it is expensive, and depending on your car and your vehicle, you could wind up ending up with issues. So just be careful what you ask for. Eric J, we can't wait to see Frankenstein come out. I know, right? CT Life's going back to Mike. Eric, couple bolt-ons, easy 500 on a 6-1. I think you got to do a little bit more than that, but you're getting there. Jay's going back to Pro Charge. Flying Ryan. Going back to Mopar fam. CT always just wanted to see if it's even worth it because I'm in the market looking for either, but I appreciate it. All right. Mike, by the way, Don screen looks good. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. It didn't take me too long to just download some logos and move things around a little bit. Just trying to do something a little different, spice up the chat a little bit. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it, buddy. I don't know. Frostbite come in here. Where is he at? I don't see Ryan. I don't see Dylan. Maybe he popped in and I missed it. Eric, we have some fast people in here. Yeah, we got a lot of fast people. That's for sure. Well, having a stock Hellcat 6.2 camshaft benefit a boosted 5.7 Hemi. To be honest, if you're gonna do that, you might as well go with a Flying Ryan. Not that I'm gonna push people away from Flying Ryan, but there's a lot of cam people that do cams out there. But I would, instead of just going with a Hellcat cam, I would just get a custom grind cam based on what you want and the modifications you're gonna do, right? So even Ryan, he can custom grind you a cam to what you want it to do. And we talked about this in basic terms. You know, if you want that big time lope, you can get that lope. If you want big time performance, you get big time performance. You can get both, but it's a trade off. It's a trade off when you ask for both. Let's see. Here's another race video. Let me get another video going. So yeah, there's my thoughts. I would go with a custom grind cam. I wouldn't even worry about the Hellcat cam. Mopar Motorsports. I didn't see him pop in. Oh, there it is. There he is. I see you now, Dylan. Good golly. It's hard keeping up in this chat. I'm a Mopar fan. Yes, but for the trouble of cam swapping, you better serve using something. Yeah. Like I said, by the time I get to the chat, someone's probably already answered the question in the chat. So, what's everyone's thoughts on meth injection? Meth injection is great. I would say if you're going to use meth injection, I would not necessarily tune for it, but I would use it as a a detonation deterrent. I wouldn't use it to add octane to your fuel and increase the timing and stuff like that. And the reason why I say that is a couple things. If something happens to your meth injection, then you're screwed, right? If you accidentally run out and you run lean, you're gonna run into trouble. But meth injection absolutely works 100%. Yes, you can tune for meth injection as well. I would just shy away from tuning with it, but using it to pull AITs 100%. And there's Riot again. Saying the same thing. He just summed it up a lot better than I did. Jay, yeah, most people don't need T-Tech heads. Yeah, we had that discussion a little bit earlier. Eric, good evening, everyone. Modern Red. Yeah, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it, Eric. Mopar fan, what will make the can shift not chop, less overlap? I think I know, but I'm not going to answer that question. Hopefully, Ryan or someone down below it answers that question. But I believe it is overlap that gives you the chop. Jay, I'm actually in the process of hiding some BGE and T-Tech capable flow numbers. I got you, Jay. Jay's doing some experimenting in there. He's got the science jacket on. All right, Eric. Eric's going back to Jay. Dylan's just hanging out. So there's your answer. Overlap and spark. Let's move down. Noah, what's going on, Noah? Is there any benefit to running something like 0W40 on a stock 5.7? When it comes to oil, I still run what's the stock recommendation? 5W20, I think it is. I still run 5W20. I figure those guys know what they're talking about. But when it comes to oil, like I said, I run 5W20 and I either use AMSOIL or Pennzoil. And y'all saw the old motor. It was glistening. It was perfect. Nothing wrong with it. Hugh, when it comes to 262 versus a 309, you get better throttle response, no wheel appeals, lose about 2 miles on the highway, and the city is no difference. There you go. I forget who asked that question about the 262 and 309. Mopar fam, I thoroughly enjoy stock idle you get from a stock Hemi, but I've always wondered if you can still maintain that stock idle sound with an upgraded camshaft. Absolutely you can. 100%. It's like I said, when it comes to a cam, it's about what you want. And then going to a person that can custom grind that cam to what you want. Eric, hanging out, Jay, eating popcorn. All right. Genius. Hey, everyone. Is a turbo Hemi usually cheaper than pre-packaged supercharger kit? You know, when it boils down to it, they all wind up being about the same. Turbo kits tend to be maybe a little bit more expensive due to the custom fabrication that has to be done to make turbos work, make them fit. So yeah, there you go. You're roughly going to be paying the same amount when it all comes to shove. Some turbo, like I said, turbos are probably a little bit more expensive than supercharger, and there's multiple superchargers out there too. There's ProCharger, there's Whipple, there's Magnuson, there's Vortec, there's Torque Storm. Some of those people have kits, some of them don't have kits. The ones that don't have kits, then there you go with fabrication again to make everything work, right? Make everything fit. So it really depends on which way you want to go with the car, Genius, and what do you want to get out of it. Bruce, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Eric, anytime you head to work on the engine, you have to make sure you have good airflow. That's for sure, 100%. Dylan, Pumpy 85 and mith injection is holding 22 psi on my stock internals with Flying Ryan behind the keyboard. I like water meth. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Dylan, I told Ryan earlier, man, you guys are catching up to me. I gotta up my game. I gotta up my game now. But I think with this new cam, we get everything lined up. On a good day, I'm thinking 9.6, 9.7 on a good day. And if we can get that 60-foot, back down into the low 1.4s, I think we can do a 9.6, 9.7 pretty easy. Mike, I'm used to breakage. I hear you, buddy. No, not on a stock unit. So Jay's going back to Noah. Angry, turbo builds can be affordable, but if you're not doing much of the work, it can be just about the same price. Yeah, and that's Angry. You know the deal. That's with anything, right? If you're doing a lot of the work yourself and you're not paying labor, yeah, things can be a little bit cheaper. But turbos could be cheaper if you're doing the welding, you're doing the fabrication, you're doing all the work yourself. Everything's cheaper if you if you don't have to worry about labor. But there you go. Bruce, Red Eye or Hellcat? I'd take my 5.7, drop a 426. Probably more fun and more cheaper. Not a bad idea. Ryan, back to Mopar fam about the sound. Jay's going back to Genius. Richie, what is the best cam kit for a 5.7? Goes back, Richie, to what you want to do with the car. Do you want it to sound rowdy and choppy? Do you want performance? Do you want more chop, less performance? Do you want more performance, less chop? Do you want all straight performance? It's about what you want out of the car, vice anyone's specific kit. And hopefully Ryan will back me up on this one. Yeah, it's about what you want out of the car and what you want to get out of the cam. That's why I always point people to someone that can spec a cam, be it Flying Ryan, Mac Built, HHP, MMX. They all do custom cams. They all do custom grinds. They all have their cam kits that they sell. If you give them the specs of your car and they're like, hey, yeah, our stage 1 is perfect for that, or our stage 2 is perfect for that, or this one we make is perfect for that. It's talking with the person that's going to be grinding the cam to get you what you want. Nacho, does anyone know the process putting a 309 on a 06 300C? I haven't seen much about any conversion kits, different drive shafts, axles. That's before my time, Noah. Hopefully someone down below, maybe Jay, maybe Ant, maybe Flying Ryan. I don't know how far back you go in the Hemi world. But I know 06, then you're talking about the Get Drag, and I don't know what gear sets the Get Drag comes in, or how to change those. So I don't have any experience with those. So hopefully Nacho, someone down below, answers that question. Eric, I know my friends that's in the Moker are saying Dodge better still offer a V8 engine down the line again. So here we go. Here's my thoughts on what may or may not happen to Dodge. So while we're on this topic real quick, I know Butter the Insider put out a great video about Ford and what Ford is doing, and I'll wrap that into this here in a few seconds. He did a good video on what Dodge could do to save the V8, much aligned towards what Ford is kind of doing to save the V8. But the problem with Dodge is they don't have a full line of vehicles to stretch their EPA credits across, right? So when you got the Durango, the 5.7, the 6.4, the Scats, the Hellcats, the Red Eyes, right? All huge negatives when it comes to the environment, right? Let's be honest. Huge negatives when it comes to the environment. Where Ford, Yeah, they got the Mustang, the Dark Horse, but they've got the EV Mustang. They've got the EV truck. They got all these other things where they wind up with EPA credits that make up for the fact that they're spending credits building V8s. Where Dodge, they ain't got nowhere to go. They ain't got nowhere to spread that out. And I think that's kind of why they did the Hornet, was to try and take a look at possibly spreading out, those EPA fines and get some more fuel efficient vehicles to try and build some credits, so then they can go ahead and come back and make a V8. But here's my bottom line thoughts on Dodge. Either Stellantis is just trying to push Dodge out altogether and just wind up axing them. That's kind of what I'm seeing with these layoffs and killing the Hemi and bringing in the Hurricane engine. Not that the Hurricane engine is a bad engine. It seems to be a fairly healthy engine, and seems like you can make pretty good power with the straight sixes. But us V8 guys, we don't want straight sixes. We want V8s. But I mean, is that a push of Stellantis to push Dodge out and just axe them all together? Possibility. Yeah, I don't know. But if you go watch Butter the Insider's video on what he says about Dodge and what Dodge can do to try and save this, is, hey, look, pick an engine, be it the 5.7, pick a V8, be it the 5.7, 6.4, 6.2, pick one of them. Don't build three of them, build one of them and put it in everything. Right? Kind of what they did with the Hellcat, right? They started putting Hellcat engine in everything. Then just cut out the 6.4 and the 5.7 and just do Hellcat engines. Right? And then put that engine in everything. But then you still got to have something to equal out the fines you're going to get by using that engine to lessen the fines. But that's my opinion. Could Dodge come back with another V8? Absolutely. They could absolutely do that. Do I see them doing it? My opinion, no facts. I don't have any inside Dodge knowledge or anything like that. I don't think so. I think, my personal opinion, I think Dodge is done within the next five years or so. I think you're going to see Dodge go away. Just my opinion. You heard it here first. Eric. All right. That's the V8 question. All right. Mike's going back to Nacho, saying there's a kit in the 2,000 range. Yeah, Jay's going back to Richie, best is relative. With the Comp 270, yeah, we made a lot of power with that Comp Cam 270, that's for sure, Jay. We sure enough did. Southern Indiana. I love my Tomahawk cam from FRP. That freaking makes my 1320 rip. Awesome, buddy. That is awesome. I'm glad you love what you've done with the car. And that's what it's all about, man, is making these modifications and just falling in love with your car all over again. It's almost, even some little things that I do in Shake and Bake, it's like, it makes it kind of a little bit different car than it was before. And it's like, oh man, I love this car again, yeah, lots of fun. Jay always thought 274 was too big on a 5.7, but many have done it. That's true too. There's a lot of people out there that made a lot of power on the 274 as well. Custom cam all days, 100%. You're welcome, Richie. That's what the chat's about. This is why I do it, man. We go down through here, we answer questions, and I got a lot of smarter people than me in the chat to answer a lot of these questions. And Ryan, thank you for chiming in, buddy. I do 100% appreciate it, because I'm new at this game. I've only been around the last 5-6 years, and my sole experience is with my 5.7. So my breadth of knowledge is is very little when it comes to the Hemis, the other Hemis, the 6.1s, the 6.4s, the 6.2s. So I appreciate you guys being in the chat and answering these questions. Angry Southern Indiana 120. You're not far from me. More Midwest fast cars. Let's go. Let's go. Bruce, same with a lowered 373. They're all for non-lowered nacho. Yep. Eric Tate saying hi to Mike. Southern Indiana, hope to be running 10s at Mopar this year. Awesome, buddy. Hey, welcome to the 10s club. Welcome to the 10s club. Let's see. Southern Indiana going back to Angry. Mike's going back to Tate. All right. I'm not even going to attempt to say that, but Mr. RT 170 damn near. Hey, we're going to get there. We're going to get low nines. It's low nines are coming. It's just a matter of time. Time, money, and patience. Y'all heard me say that about 50 times in this chat already. But yeah, we're gonna get low nines. We're gonna get there. Ryan, Richie, best is subjective. I mean, there you go. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. Two companies making cans for this platform, but I'm sure you already know that. Yep. Mike, Block Monster J. There you go. Southern Chicago, Pro Charge. Time to make the donuts. All right, buddy. Peace out. Pro Charge 392. We'll see you next time. Jay's going back to Mike. Eric, you can't go wrong with Mac or Ryan's cams, hands down. The best, you won't be disappointed. Hugh, the key to meth injection is getting a good controller. My system does a check when I start my car. The controller monitors methanol levels, so it tells me when I run low. Don't be cheap. Yeah, that's definitely in this game. A lot of the time, probably more often than not, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Hang on, I'll be right back. Yeah, more often than not, you get what you pay for. So when you cheap out, you get cheap. Buy once, cry once, right? Because I've cried several times. Not because I went cheap, because I keep kicking my can down the road. Once I hit my goalpost, I shove the goalpost down the road further. But yeah, that's good all around advice. Don't be cheap. Eric, Hemi V8 engine has a lot of potential when done right. 100%. You know it, Eric. When it comes to cams, I spec my own, but I work closely with Mac. I hear really good things about some of Ryan's specs these days. Yep, I hear a lot of good stuff from Ryan's stuff. There's a lot of good folks out there. Jay, never been a fan of tuning with meth. I'm with you. 960s, you know it, buddy. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm hoping for. If everything works out right, I think we can get there. I think you know, I mean, the cam is the MMX cam was the MMX cam, right? It was a limited cam, and we were just running into issues with it and running VVT. So we'll see how the non VVT Mac cam does here in a little while. Might get the new Hennessy Demon 1700. Yeah, right. Mopar fan, Pro Charger, Whipple, Supercharger. Which one is good? Here we go. So, my thoughts on centrifugal versus positive displacement. Both are good. Bottom line, both are good. Magnuson is good as well. You can throw Magnuson in that conversation. You can throw Torque Storm in that conversation. They're making, look at what Mopar Motorsports is doing with his Torque Storm. It basically boils down to what you want out of your car. What type of experience do you want? Do you want more of a race car? Then I would say Turbo's Pro Charger. Though there's a lot of fast Whipple cars out there. I'm not knocking Whipple when it comes to going fast. There's a lot of fast Whipple cars out there. I'm not saying Whipples aren't fast. They are super fast. But just my opinion, going fast as you can, as fast as you want to go, Pro Charger turbos on the track. If you want that Hellcat type experience where your usable power is as soon as you stomp on the gas, go with a positive displacement, Whipple or Magnuson. In my opinion, I would go with either one of those. There you go. That's my opinion, right? Because everyone's got their opinions on superchargers, which one's faster, and who goes fast, and who doesn't go fast, and blah 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 blah. Right? And it's like you go to 10 different doctors, you get 10 different answers. You go to 10 different mechanics shops talking about Whipple or Pro Charger or whatever, and you're going to get 10 different answers. But it boils down to everything boils down to what you want your car to do. And then you build your car to what you want it to do. Let's get another drag strip in here. We got about 9 minutes, and I'm getting down to the bottom here. Will, what's up, Will? Are there nitrous specific cams for the 5.7? So I'll let hopefully Jay or Ryan or someone with more knowledge when it comes to nitrous and cams. Are there certain specs people use for cams for when they're running nitrous? I would say, my opinion, no facts. I would say yes, they probably do. But how much you're going to get out of it, I'm not really sold. But if that's all you're running is straight nitrous, then I'm almost positive there's a custom grind cam that will take full advantage of running nitrous. But like I said, it's all about what you want the car to do and what you want out of the car, and talking to someone that knows how to spec cams, like Ryan, like Mac, like HHP, like MMX. Talk to someone, give them what your goals are, give them what your build is or what you're going to build. That way you get the cam that fits those specific modifications. So, roundabout way to answer your question, Will, but hopefully I answered it for you. So let's go back to that Hennessy 1700. So if you listen to that guy's video, they're literally ripping out the entire drivetrain, engine, transmission, all of it. They're ripping all of that out and replacing it with one of their engines and drivetrain. So that way, if you ever want to go back to stock, you can put the stock Demon engine and drivetrain back in there. So when you pull all of that out, is it still a Demon 170? Yeah. Flip a coin on who you talk to. But yeah, take it for what it is. So keep in mind that Hennessy 1700, the entire drivetrain is no longer the Demon drivetrain. It's something that Hennessy throws in there to make 1,700 horsepower, not the Demon engine or the driveline. Eric, it's twin turbo time. Mike, there you go. Angry, exactly. If you can find, yep. If you can fab and you can work on your own car, you're gonna save a lot of money. Also, is an IHI conversion Hellcat supercharger worth the cost and labor compared to a Pro Charger or Whipple kit? I think Angry will have his opinion, and he can chime in here because he's done it. Me personally, from what I've seen and what I've heard, Mopar fam, I'm not completely sold on that IHI conversion. Angry, like I said, Angry has much more experience. That's just my opinion. I have no facts to back that up. Talk to Always Angry because he's done it. Hopefully he says something down below, Mopar fam. But my opinion, I'm not sold on it. I would rather go Whipple or Pro Charger. Hugh, when it comes to turbo, next car will have factory turbos, less work, cheaper to upgrade components. There you go. Yeah, buy a car that already has turbo. That's a good one, Hugh. I like it. Jay, a good NA cam is a nitrous cam. There you go. A Mopar fan does. Yeah, again, here we go, right? Depends on what you want out of the car again. Speaking of Mac, that guy must hate 5.7s. He always says something. Yeah, I'm slowly turning him into a 5.7 guy. It's just taking me a while to do it. Give me a little bit more time. Always give me a little bit more time. I'm beating him into the 5.7. Jay, twins for the win. Yep. Always going back to Mike. Mopar fan, what benefits do you get out of an IHI conversion? Again, I'll throw that over to Always Angry. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the whole conversion and everything that goes along with it. But like I said, my personal opinion, no facts. I'm just not sold. Jay, Get Rags have 306, but if you want a 309, you have to do a ZF swap. There you go, Mopar fam. Always chimed in. Eric Bro Mac is the man. He is. He's a cool dude. He's awesome. Yeah, Jay. You heard me talk about that earlier. I just think Dodge is on the way out. Angry going back to Mike. Oh yeah, Chevy and Ford are both getting out of the EV market. They're both getting out of that market. So anyway, yeah, Eric, I don't disagree with you, but Dodge just isn't in the same position as Ford is and Chevy. But Ford did say they're going to go down. They're going to go down in a ball of fire. They're sticking with the V8 until someone outlaws them. So there you go. You know, a few years from now, you want a brand new V8, you got to buy a Mustang or a Corvette, and I don't know how much longer the Corvette's going to have a V8. So there you go. Eric's going back to Jay. Let's see, Mopar fam. It is. It is sad to see him go, but the old adage, all good things must come to an end. But we'll see if they stick around. I personally don't think they're going to wind up sticking around. I personally think Stellantis is pushing them out the door. But we'll have to see how that goes. I get down to the bottom of these comments. It's getting, I like to wrap this up about 10 o'clock, and I got 2 minutes. Jay's going back to Eric. Angry's going back to Eric. Like I'm always angry. I hear you, buddy. Always going back to Jay. Jay's saying it'll be sooner than 5 years. Could very well be, but we'll see in the next few years. Fossil Nation, we can always agree on that. Yep. Biggest problem with the Hemi is its design. It's tough to meet EPA standards with a single cam. Yep. Not disagreeing with you, but I think they're just on the way out. Mopar fam, following always, excellent. Jay's going back to always to Jay. Fascination's laughing. Jay's laughing. Angry's going back and forth. Everyone's going back and forth. All right, it's 10 o'clock. I'm skipping to the bottom. Boop. Yeah, the 90 swap is not an easy one. no, Noah's jumping in there too. The HP 90 swap is not the parts and the mechanical side is easy. It's like he said, the tuning is a headache, and getting it flashed and making it work is tough. But all right, you guys know the deal. It's 10 o'clock. Y'all know I like to cut this off right at an hour. I appreciate y'all keeping me in the chat again. We chatted here for another full hour again and put out gadzooks of information. I appreciate everyone chiming in, especially Ryan. This is the first time I've seen him pop in my chat. I appreciate you coming in. I see Dylan popping in too. I know he comes in every once in a while. Jay, you're a staple. Ant, if you're still on, you're a staple. Mike, you're a staple. Noah, you're a staple. I know I'm missing some people. I appreciate each and every one of you folks chiming in, keeping the chat going, keeping me going, keeping me motivated to do more videos and keep the content going, keep Shake and Bake going, doing more things to Shake and Bake, making Shake and Bake faster, because we're going faster. That's all. That's a given. We are going to go faster. But that's it for this one, folks. I appreciate you chiming in. Until next week, adios.